Equapoima Studio, number 9 Dr. Iset Street, Northridge. This is Newsline.
Hello, it's 10:30 p.m. and the news has just begun. Good evening and welcome to Newsline on Metro TV. And the Newsline is live on Metro TV as I'd indicate. It's also live on DSTV, channel 277. It's also streaming live on Facebook at Metro News and on Twitter at Metro TV GH. I am MORO, AWUDU. Coming up this evening on Newsline, the NDC's Youth Wing presents its petition to President Akufo-Addo and Parliament. We'll be hearing from the Information Minister, Kojo Opon Kroma, on what government makes of the demands contained in that petition. Also in this package, traders at the Makola Market in double jeopardy as unrelenting fire continues to consume their wares. We shall be finding out from the Millennium Insurance Company about the possibility of traders obtaining insurance packages for future disasters. Well, Newsline is always brought to you by Delta Paper, that producers of floral disposable tissue. Newsline will be right back.
Logo the bottom. Where you say 80 local channels na mo hedo. And so pictures near clear. E 5 times better. As other channels can go be your hormone. So go dey mention mon tram rakra why. Oh, what the pictures.
Who knows tomorrow?
What the picture. What you AD plus decoder or multi TV and now natural agent PR natural local channels now HD the here so better
star 879 hash
numbers from people box and now the activity AD channels now you can
get an HD plus decoder from now till the 9th of August for just $89.99 Ghana cedis and enjoy 3 months free subscription. Enjoy all the excitement and live sports action in the HD Plus Air Bosso Philippines promo. Promo lasts from 7 June to 9 August 2021. Visit hd-plus.com.gh or call 024-243-9872 for more info.
Half a nose for good things.
Welcome back to the program. And now to our first story, where the national chairman of the opposition National Democratic Congress, Samuel Ofosu-Ampofo, has indicated that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has failed in the management of the economy. He also says he has failed as chairman of the Police Council. He was speaking at the party's March for Justice demonstration here in Accra. Here's a report by Shadrach Odami Ejari.
The march, which started at the Accra Mall, saw some rank and file of the National Democratic Congress hit the streets clad in red and black. They marched through the 37 Opebia Highway, through to the Aviation and Land Commission Road. The first point of call was at the Jubilee House to present an 8-point petition to the presidency. This was received by the Deputy Chief of Staff in charge of operations, Emmanuel Adumwa Bosman.
The danger, Your Excellency, is that there is no commitment from you and your government that this life-threatening challenges facing our country will be at least reduced. Instead of teaming up with those who have taken inspiration from your edicts to be citizens and not spectators to fix the country, your government is surprisingly averse to calls asking for the fixing of our beloved country. Those crusading for the country to be fixed have become enemies of your government, as they are either being intimidated, harassed or killed by your militia. Respectfully, Mr. President, it is not out of place to point out to you that though Ghanaians signed a social contract with you to resolve their problems, your government has become an insurmountable challenge that they are struggling to resolve.
Amidst heavy security and strict compliance to the COVID-19 protocols, protesters continued their march through the Independence Avenue to Parliament. The entry to the House of Legislature was chaotic as both leadership and party faithful were denied entry upon arrival. Chairman of the NDC, Samuel Ofosu Ampofo, called the Akufo-Addo-led administration a failure.
Morale in the police is very low. And so Dr. Bamia has failed in the two critical areas that have been given, economic management and the national security, and as a chairman of the police council. Now people are living in fear. But what the Constitution guarantees us any freedom of movement and freedom of everything that we do, freedom of speech. And until we are asking Nana Akufo-Addo and Bawumia that we can no longer keep quiet while the people suffer, while the people are subjugated, while the people are intimidated, while the people are being killed. One death is too many.
The march ended with a petition being presented to Parliament.
It is our expectation that these demands will be acted upon with dispatch in order to restore the hope and confidence of Ghanaians in the future of our country and its government and its governance institutions. Thank you very much for and on behalf of the youth of Ghana. Under his hand, George Opare Addo Esquire, National Youth Organizer.
Leadership of the House assured party faithful their petition will be replied in due time. Reporting for Metro News, Shadrach Odame Ejari.
Meanwhile, the first Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Joseph Osei-Wusu, has assured that Parliament will take action on the petition presented to the House by the leadership of the National Democratic Congress. The Minority Leader, Haruna Idrisu, stressed that his outfit will continue to hold government accountable for actions considered detrimental to the nation's socio-economic development. Watch this.
Speaker, when the demonstrators came to Parliament, we received the petition ostensibly meant for the Speaker on behalf of Right Honourable Speaker and on behalf of the leadership. The Speaker, I want to present the petition to your Right Honourable Speaker by having it laid on the table.
Mr. Speaker, this Parliament, I believe, will hold the police and the Ghana Armed Forces accountable as is required of us. Parliament remains a guardian of the fundamental rights and freedoms of citizens. We have a duty to preserve and protect our Constitution. We have a duty to safeguard our democracy, and we have a responsibility to ensure that Ghana remains a peaceful, stable country. We cannot achieve that if freedom of expression remains on attack, civil liberties are disrespected, and no punishment is meted.
We defer any referral today and discuss it at the leadership meeting tomorrow thoroughly before making a pronouncement.
Meanwhile, government says it has taken seriously the concerns expressed by the opposition NDC in the petition presented to the presidency today. Information Minister Kojo Ponkroma says that the decision by the youth wing of the NDC to embark on that protest march to drum home some issues they believe government should be tackling is commendable. Meanwhile, the Deputy National Youth Organizer for the NDC, Ruth Dela Sedo, who appeared on Metro News Newsnight after the protest march, is insisting that the Akufo-Addo administration has been a total failure.
Well, first, let me commend the Ghana Police Service for the very professional job that they've done today in supporting our colleagues from the NDC in going about their constitutionally allowed demonstration. Let me commend colleagues on that side. I think that to a large extent, they conducted a decent exercise, and they've drawn some things, or they've brought some things to the attention of government My expectation is that the things that they have brought to the attention of government, as and when they are validated, can be responded to. If there are specific recommendations that she's mentioning that have not been implemented, I'm sure if indeed that's the case, there are things that government can examine. And if there are not things that are disagreed with in the Commission of Inquiry's report white paper, government should be in a position to explain what is happening on those specific recommendations.
Kindly stay on for us. Now, let me come to you, Ruth. You're asking for government to stamp out corruption by prosecuting corrupt officials in his administration other than shielding them. You're asking for a fierce urgency to halt the hopeless nature of cronyism that has crept into government. Tell us more about these. If you can possibly mention some of these officials you're making reference to in this particular demand.
Thank you very much. We have been in this country where Galamsey has been a very, difficult, terrible issue confronting us, destroying our water bodies. And we had the president saying that he was going to put his presidency on the line in a fight against Galamsey menace. Unfortunately, in his quest to do that, he set up some committees which were supposed to supervise these actions. And it turned out that these committees were actually aiding those who were perpetrating this, evil deeds against Ghanaian people and destroying our water bodies. We have seen people on video collecting bribes. We have seen Charles Bissiou, who is, the president's baby at the presidency, and taking bribes and allowing people to go ahead and engage in Galamsey. As we speak up to now, we have not seen anything.
We know of Charles Bissiou's case. He was asked to step aside, in fact, when that issue broke. So to say Charles Bissiou is still at the presidency taking bribes will be unfair to the president.
My brother, he was
Even
asked
quite
to...
apart from that, can I make a comment?
Okay, Honorable Minister, please.
Can I make a comment, please? Yes, Ruth, please indulge me. So in the case of, because you have just said that the committee that was set up was aiding the persons who were perpetrating the acts against our water bodies, that cannot be accurate. You may want to give a specific example, and even in that citing of the example, you talked about, you said we saw Charles Bissiou receiving bribes. I'm not sure that that is a matter of fact. A video was aired in which somebody gave Mr. Bissiou an envelope, and a narration was put on that video suggesting that Mr. Bissiou had received a bribe. When the journalist who put that piece together was invited by the police to provide more details and provide more evidence, I'm sure you are aware.
The three-member committee tasked by the Interior Minister to investigate the circumstances that led to the death of Mohammed, Ibrahim, also known as Kaka, and two others in Ijra commenced its hearing today. The hearing, which began around 10 a.m. at the Prempeh Assembly Hall in Kumasi, saw the Ashanti Regional Minister presenting a video clip to the committee as its exhibit. Here are excerpts of today's sitting.
When I heard the intelligence on 29 June 2021, I requested Lieutenant Colonel Pepra to again send some personnel to go and support the police. I took this decision. The police, maintenance of peace and security in the region. The commanding officer, as I requested, dispatched some personnel to Ejura to support the police in the maintenance of peace and security. Later in the day, while I was in the meeting of the regional ministers, at AH Hotel in East Legon, Accra, I received unfortunate news that there have been shooting during the maintenance of peace in the Jura. And 2 lives have been lost. And others injured. I also received information that some properties had.
Now, the Scrap Dealers Association of Ghana says that they are rejecting the 10-acre land provided by the regional minister, Henry Quartey, after relocating them from Agbobloshi. Now, according to them, the earlier 2-acre land at Kofi Kwe near Ajinkotoko, which was later doubled to 10 acres, will not accommodate them, looking at their number. In an exclusive interview with Metro News, the Deputy General Secretary of the association, Salifu Salim, says that plans are far advanced to acquire a 50-acre land by themselves, hence the rejection. Elvis Andor has the rest of the story.
The Deputy Secretary of the Scrap Dealers Association of Ghana, in an interview with Metro News, hinted the association's plans to acquire their own land.
Where they have shown us, we have observed the place, and the place is too small for us. Initially, he gave us 2 acres of land. We said it's small. Then he came again and then gave us 10, of which is still small. So because of that, we are going to come out with ourselves, put our things together, our resources together, to see where we can relocate ourselves.
He further said their decision was as a result of the failed attempt to negotiate with the regional minister, Henry Quartey, to increase the 10 acres of land allocated to them at Kofi Kwe.
So we plan that we will meet him today, 11 o'clock, so that we will tell him gently what we have seen on that land, and then we will propose to him our plan B. He agreed. Only yesterday night, they called us and told us they can meet us. You understand? So we see that he is not willing to work with us. So because of that, we are going to come out with ourselves, put our things together, our resources together, to see where we can relocate ourselves.
He added the scrap dealers will welcome support from the regional minister if he deems it fit to do so.
We are not in fight with the minister. We don't have any problem with the minister. It's only the location and the size that we are against. If we can get us where we like the place, if he can even pay half, we'll also take half. But he can take all, it should be, it is welcome.
The relocation of the scrap dealers forms part of the hashtag Make Accra Work agenda by the regional minister, Henry Quartey, to decongest the capital and remove unauthorized structures to help keep.
Right, Newsline returns shortly. Welcome back to Newsline. Fire officers today had a tough time as they intensified efforts to douse flames that have engulfed the Makola Market. Now, this is more than 24 hours after the fire started on Monday, and the traders there are continuing to count their losses. Government officials, including the Trade Minister, Alan Kwejo-Chermanting, the AMA boss, Mohammed, today inspected the market to assess the extent of damage. They promised the affected traders that government will compensate them for their loss. Henry Kwesi visited the market and has the rest of the story.
Traders count their losses a day following a fire that ravaged over 100 shops at the Makola Market here in Accra.
And you said you deal in cosmetics, right? Today, have you been able to climb up there to see your shop?
Yes, well, I was able to climb up, and it's up to ashes now. There's nothing to pick up from there.
You didn't pick a single thing?
No, I didn't pick anything from there. Everything is black and dark.
The traders were asked by the National Fire Service to assess the building and salvage the goods that were not affected by the flames after firefighters doused the flames Monday evening. But during the process, thick black smoke was seen emanating from the building which started the fire again. According to the traders, the warehouse is said to be holding a lot of combustible materials ranging from fabrics, sanitary products, amongst others, thus causing the reignition.
I saw now beans, body splash, tina, pedicure, neoma, pons, foam, as my dear, I'm was raw. I saw now, I'm a I said, I'm to be doing the right time. After 24 hours,
the traders say they can't fathom how the fire service is struggling to dose the blaze after more than 24 hours.
Are you even concerned that up until now they are unable to dose the flames completely?
Very. Now we are very, very concerned because we have other shops nearby, so we don't know what to do. We wake up and now we are here just hoping and protecting the other properties that.
Trade and Industry Minister Alan Kwejo-Chermanting and the Mayor of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, Mohammed, and leaders of the Ghana Union of Traders Association were at the scene to assess the level of damage. Chairman of GUTA, Joseph Obin, urged the Ministry of Trade and Industry to institute a committee to probe the recent fire outbreaks in market centers.
What we are doing, we have told them to take their time to be able to salvage a few more things, and then after they settle in a day or two, they sit down and collate the volume that is involved, and then they itemize everything and then bring their list so that we can forward it to government for the necessary compensation. I don't want to even call it compensation, but providing some sort of comfort for the people.
Henry Kwesi Metro News, Makola.
The underwriting manager for Millennium Insurance, that's Francis Ni Okai-Kwoti, is calling on traders to consider insuring their businesses. He said taking such an important decision would lessen the burden on traders and businessmen when they are confronted with costly damages. Mr. Ni Okai-Kwoti was commenting on the fire outbreak at the Makola Market.
Makola per se is not a high-risk area. But to go on with your question, in the Insurance Act 2006, all commercial buildings need to be insured against fire, earthquake, storm, and the likes. So Makola per se, as I said, is not a high-risk area. It's all about accessibility. That's why most companies are shying away from insuring the place. But where even the fire gutted, Georgina Stores area, most of them are insured. But it's rather unfortunate that millions have gone down the drain and we have some who have not insured. My advice to the traders is that they should stop the farmer nyame attitude and always trying to also call on government to help them in times of these uncertainties. We are there to compensate them whenever such uncertainty or eventualities happen. With Millennium Insurance, we have a lot of policies, but regarding the incident that just happened at the Makola Market. We have fire and allied perils policy for them. We have combined fire and burglary, and we have asset or risk policy for them.
Motorists plying the Manfi Adoso stretch of the Accra-Koforidua Road have expressed fears about the bad nature of the road. They term it as a death trap. According to them, the deep potholes have taken over one of the major roads in the region, making it immotorable and dangerous to ply. They are therefore appealing to authorities to do something about it before a major disaster occurs.
I'd also demand extra caution from drivers due to its mountainous nature, coupled with a lot of dangerous curves. Many accidents have been recorded on the stretch over the years, affecting mainly drivers who are not familiar with the nature of the road. To make matters worse, potholes that have developed in recent times have not received much attention, thereby deteriorating into dangerous proportions. The most serious situation is that most of the deadly holes are found in the curves, making it difficult for the unsuspecting driver to notice in good time to avoid them. A motorist, Dr. Kofi Boyson, described the situation as dangerous.
It's very bad. It's very bad. Potholes, the curves. If one is not very careful, there are no road signs to show you whether there is a curve.
A resident of Kwamaso, Gabriel Mensah, also expressed his dissatisfaction with the recently tarred road at Kwamaso, which he said was a shoddy work and a waste of money. Speaking to Metro News off camera, the regional director of Ghana Highways Authority, Charles Edubofo, intimated that there would be some works on that stretch in 3 weeks' time. He also hinted that plans were underway for the dualization of the road. Metro News will be monitoring the event and keep viewers posted.
The executive director of the Pan-African SMEs Network, that's Solomon Ajay, says Ghanaian businesses need to be sensitized on the opportunities available for them to explore fully on the African Continental Free Trade Area. He spoke at the African SMEs Dialogue on the theme AFCFTA, Opportunities or Threats to African SMEs, and it was organized for the youth, women, small and medium-scale businesses on the continent.
The African SMEs Dialogue on AFTA seeks to explore the opportunities and challenges that come with the AFTA for the youth, women and small and medium-scale businesses. Executive Director of the Pan-African SMEs Network, Solomon Ajay, said SMEs need strong capacities to meet global standards.
The issues of business or product standardization. What we produce in Ghana, will it meet the standard of a European market or the standard of a South African market or other countries' market? How are we able to ensure that what we produce in-house, locally as a country, will meet global standards?
National President of the Borderless Alliance, Zayed Homoni, called for paradigm shift in African businesses.
From the limited, traditional, some even call colonial, model of national economic development on the back of the export of raw commodities. We need to add value to our products and services to make sure that we are better prepared to face the next external shocks, but also to become more competitive players on the international global scene, not just within our countries.
The dialogue was organized by the Pan-African SMEs Network in partnership with GI's office in charge of AFTA in Accra.
Well, this is where we end tonight's edition of Newsline. I hope you had a great time. You've got to join me tomorrow at 10:30 for another edition of Newsline. My name is MORO. Newsline is always brought to you by Delta Paper, producers of floral disposable tissue. Newsline, like I said, we're back tomorrow. Remember, the news never sleeps. Have a good night.